Because with summer quickly approaching, many parents and grandparents are making plans for a camp experience for their child or grandchild. And of course, you want it to be more than just a fun babysitting service that gets them out of your hair for a week while they're out of school. Fun is important, yes, but you also know how important it is that they receive positive input into their lives, especially in matters of faith. Since 1978, Crossroads has been involved in camping ministry with our Circle Square ranches across Canada. And today these ranches are operated by InterVarsity Christian Fellowship Canada along with their Pioneer Camps. And this month we have an online opportunity for you to win a week of camp for that special child in your life, ages 7 to 17. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But first we have someone with us whose life has been influenced by camp ministry, both as a camper and a staff member. It's Katherine Brown, and she's Moira's daughter. Thanks, Katherine, for popping in.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Now, this month, your mom has been showing all kinds of pictures of you in her Hugs from Heaven book.
Yes.
And so, do you mind when she does stuff like that?
Oh, she just goes ahead and does it anyways. But I don't mind. I don't mind. Yeah.
Now, you just came back from 6 months in Germany. Mm-hmm. I know we want to talk about camping, but that's kind of interesting. What were you doing there?
Yeah, I was going to a Bible school in Germany called Bodenseehof, and it was just really an opportunity for me to grow in my relationship with Jesus, and it was a really wonderful growing experience for me, and a learning experience, less academic and more focusing on that personal growth with Jesus. So it was really wonderful. Mm-hmm.
Now, backing up a ways into some other experiences you've had, the camp ministry has been important in your life, first as a camper. Do you remember some of the actual camper days and what that was like for you? Oh,
yeah. That was a really wonderful experience. I mean, I didn't want to leave when the week of camp was over. I loved it. It was a time where I got to try some new things. I'd never been horseback riding before, so that was a new experience for me. Got to try some things like high ropes and rock wall climbing, but it was also a time where I was really mentored by some really wonderful Christian young people who are older than me and really modeled to me what it was like to live the Christian life and to follow Jesus. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
It's I remember being in camp as well as a little kid, and it does have that impact on you because you're out of your regular environment and you're with other people and people you look up to. Your counselors and they're shining for Jesus and they love the Lord and they're sharing this experience of the week with you, but also digging into God's Word and just seeing that what life is really all about. Then as a staffer then, you, for most of your time with Circle Square Ranch, you were a staff member. Share some of your memories of that.
Well, that was also a really growing experience for me as well. And I learned a lot through being a staff member at Circle Square Ranch. I learned a lot about leadership, and I think that was modeled by some of the senior staff members as well, but it was also an opportunity for me to be able to give and to share the love of Jesus with campers who are coming week after week, and it was a time to learn what it means to be a part of a Christian community too. And I think it really grew my character a lot. I think it was a character growing time for me working at Circle Square Ranch. There's
a training called Leader in Training, LIT program that you would have gone through, right?
Yes, I did go through that program, and it was it really prepared me not only for being a staff member, but also for other leadership roles at my school, in my church. And it was also a time that was really fun. It was so much fun to be a part of. I got to make new friends, meet new people, but it was also a time where I learned what it meant to be a leader and have integrity and character. And again, that was something that was modeled for me as well.
And all three of my children were campers and staffers as well at the same camp, the Southwestern Ontario Circle Square Ranch near Brantford. And yeah, I can attest to all the fun that they were having, but also the growth in their life, because it's an amazing time for them growing and getting, their feet wet and ministering to others, and to getting an opportunity to just share God's love. Let me put you on the spot. Say maybe there's a story that you might remember, a particular instance of at camp that stands out.
Well, I do remember one specific one that was really special to me when I was a staff member at camp, and it was the first time where I was a staff member who was actually able to lead a little child to Christ. And this was a girl who came from a background that was a little bit rough. It was a difficult home life for her, and she was only, I think, about 7 years old. And it was at nighttime, and it was just after campfire. And I remember there were clouds and lightning in the distance. And she looked up at me and she said, "They're having a party for me in heaven, aren't they?" And I said, "Yeah, they are. That's wonderful." And it was for me, as I think I was only about maybe 16 years old. And for me, seeing the joy of someone who was just coming into a relationship with Jesus and just a little girl, it was huge for me, and it was really exciting.
Absolutely. Well, I even, because the camps have been part of Crossroads, as I said, from 1978. And so I remember some of those early days. I was still a teenager, and I was a staffer at the camp. And I remember, leading a child to the Lord the very first time I had the opportunity to do that. And he was probably 11 or 12 years old, and it's vivid in my memory. And so it's impactful for not just the children, but for the staff. Yeah. And there's a contest happening right now during this month, and you're probably aware of it because we've been talking about it a lot, and hopefully folks at home are aware of it, where you can go online at 100huntley.com, and you can look for the Win a Week at Camp thing there. You click on that, and there it is. You fill in your information. And it's totally free to enter. And you can also share a story why you want to send a kid to camp, and maybe how important it is for you. And maybe you have an experience like Katherine with camp or being staff, and the type of transformation it can have in a young life. And so we'd love for you to maybe be one that enters and perhaps wins a week at camp. This coming Monday, we'll draw another name in the camp contest each week. There's going to be 4 throughout May. And so all you have to do is enter. And otherwise, just get online and sign up for a week at camp and register your child or grandchild. But here's more about the contest.